Hey guys, it's Ashlyn. Welcome back to my channel. So as you could see by the new intro video, it's now just Ashlyn Johnson instead of Ashlyn and Friends. And that's because I'm making it more of an independent channel instead of me having to rely on friends to be here to make videos. And I'm going to try to post every week on Wednesdays and try to be more active since I don't have to rely on people being there. I can post more often. So it'll be fun. But today I'm doing a makeup, like everyday makeup routine. I had actually filmed a video on Saturday and I had like edited it and everything, and then I lost all the footage, and so that was about 4 hours of work down the drain because I had baked cookies in it, and that one would have been a fun one but didn't really work out, and I'm not going to film it again and rebake the cookies. But today I'm doing a everyday makeup routine, and so I hope you guys like it. Okay, so I'm going to start today with primer, and I have the Benefit Professional Primer, and it's like a little tester size of it, so it's a lot cheaper, but it lasts just as long. And actually, before I even start, I'm going to pull my hair up, because my hair always gets in the way when I'm doing my makeup. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, I'm going to put my primer on. And you don't want to put a lot with primer, but I just put a little bit on 2 fingers, and then I like get it on the other fingers, and then I put it on my face. So next, I'm going to move on to my foundation, and actually the foundation I use, they don't have my color because I'm really light, but like, I don't know. So they had 2 different shades. This one was too light, and this one was too dark, but they're like the 2 closest shades to each other. Oh, it's LA Girl, by the way, and it's like matte. It's cheap, but it's nice. So basically I just put 1 pump of each, and then I mix them together. And I mix them on this little like rubber thing, which some people use these as a beauty blender, but I use it to like put my foundation on, and then like put my beauty blender on that. That way I don't have to do it on my hand or anything. So I'm gonna mix that. I'll show you guys. So I do 1 pump of this one, the darker shade, this one's beige, and then I do 1 pump of the lighter shade, which is ivory, and I do them like on top of each other. And then I take this is actually like a spoolie thing, but I use the end of it to mix it, but I just like mix it around till it's evenly mixed. And then I usually just take little like leftovers that's still on here from mixing, and I just put it in dots under my eyes. That way I don't have to like waste it and wipe it off or whatever. I put it in the corners, and then sometimes if I have any extras I'll like put it around the nose. Okay, and then I just take it and I blend in what I already have. Okay, so I just kind of blend that in. And then I'll move on to the real like application. Okay, and so then I just apply this all over my face. So now that I'm done with that, I just, even though this is matte and it like is pretty much dry. It's not really like wet feeling at all. I like to put a little bit of powder, and I use the Coty Airspun setting powder, like the loose face powder, and I just put a little bit of that like over, just to make sure everything's set in place, because I don't want to like caking off throughout the day or whatever. So I just take a powder brush for that, and I just kind of mainly put it under my eyes where it would mainly be like not set, and then I just apply a thin layer to my whole face to make sure that just fell, but to make sure all the foundation's set and in place. Okay, so now that I'm done with that, I just take all the extra powder and put it back in here because I don't want to waste any. And then we're done with this. So sometimes I use bronzer or like contour, but sometimes I just don't have time for that if I'm doing it in the morning or things like that. But most of the time I do. And so, it's the wrong brush. Okay, so I take my contour brush, which is like angled like this, and I use this palette. I don't know where I got it, but it works. I'm completely out of highlight in this, but it's got bronzer, contour, and blush. I'm almost out of blush. So I dip it into the contour, and then I just apply that in like the faces I would contour, or the places I would contour my face, which is like the cheekbones and the forehead, and then I take a smaller brush later and I contour my nose. So I'll start on that. I like to go like around and down, that way it gets a nice like shape to my face, but it's all based on your face shape of how you contour. Like different face shapes contour like different ways. So, and then I just kind of blend it, and I like this contour because it's not super, it doesn't like show up super crazy, like it's there but it's not like strong. And then, hold on, I have to find my nose contouring brush. It's hiding somewhere in here. So I take a little brush like this, just a small one, and I dip that into the contour. Give it a good tap, and then I just contour right on my nose. And then you take that and I just blend it down. And when I do my nose, I make sure to go up a little here, just to give it more definement and show like, I don't know, just more definement to my nose, I guess. I blend that down and around, and it makes my nose look Sister Snatch. You can tell it looks way smaller. Yeah, so that's that. And next I go on to blush. This brush broke, and so I had to like duct tape it. But I take the blush in here, which is like a really nice matte blush. How I see it, some people may not do it this way, but I feel if you're going to use highlight on your makeup look, you want to use a matte blush. But if you're not going to use highlight, then it's okay to use like a shimmery blush. But if you're going to be putting like highlight and sparkles like on top of that, I'd say keep it with like a matte blush. But yeah, I take some of that. It's a really nice like peachy shade. It's not super pink or super red. And then I smile so you can see like the apples of my cheeks, and I apply it on there. And then I just take the excess and I put it on the tip of my nose, up here on my forehead, and down on my chin, like places where my face would get normally pretty red. And like where I'd get sun-kissed. And then if it's like still too harsh, I have this little it's called a kabuki brush. It's like little and it's for blending, and I just take that and I kind of like blend it out. But you don't want to be like too harsh because you don't want to rub like your foundation or anything off underneath. And then look at it, make sure it's good. And yeah, so that's good. So I'm done with this. And next, I'll probably move on to like highlight or something. So I take this little palette, I don't know exactly what it is. I've seen this in like some videos and stuff. It's like blush, highlight, and bronzer, but these two are like way too shimmery. But the highlight's really good in this. So I take my highlight brush, which is a little thick, but it's nice, and I put that in the highlight, and I make the like fish lips, and I put that on. And then I take a tiny bit, and I put it up on like above my brow bone, and then I take my littler one, which is this little round one, and I put some down the bridge of my nose and on the tip. And then I put some on my brow bones on both sides and on my inner corner of my eye. And then right here above my lip. Alright, so that's done with highlight. So I put this away. And most people would normally do like brows or something at this point. I don't know. I don't do my eyebrows because I just don't feel like doing them. I feel like they're pretty nicely shaped as is. So I don't feel like filling them in or anything. They're pretty nice as is. So I move on to eyeshadow, which I have the Jaclyn Hill palette that I use for literally everything because there's colors for every kind of look. Well, not every kind of look, but most looks. And I take that and I start with, where's the brush? Start with this brush, which is like kind of what I use for like the transition shade, and I'll usually dip into like a nice brown, something like this one right here, or like the one next to it right here, something like nice, because this is just like an everyday look, something simple. So I start with that and I just put it in my crease, and I usually blend it out into like a little V in the corner. And then I'll usually take a brown shade that's slightly darker but not too much darker, something like this one right here in the bottom, and I'll put that on the lid. And then I go back in with that kabuki brush and I just brush off all the excess that's like fallen underneath, which there usually isn't much because this is a pretty good eyeshadow. It doesn't have too much like fallout. And so that concludes the eyeshadow part. And then I move on to mascara, which I use the Too Faced Better Than Sex, and this is the tester size, so it's also a lot cheaper and lasts a long time. And so I take this and I just apply it to my lashes. Are you freaking kidding me? Does this ever happen to you when it gets like clumped at the bottom, and this is where the spoolie comes in handy? I just kind of catch it with the spoolie and take it off. Oh my gosh, I hate when that happens. You know the faces you make when you're like putting mascara on your, yeah. But that's the mascara, and a lot of people would add like false lashes, but I think this mascara is pretty good. Like, I don't feel the need for false lashes. And then next, I just kind of wipe off my lips of any excess like foundation, and then I take this cute little chapstick. It's fun, and then I just put it on. And that concludes it. So this is my everyday makeup routine. Curly hair is fun. And yeah, so this is how I do my makeup most of the time if I'm not going like full glam or anything. This is the basics, and yeah. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to follow along you can, or if you just wanted to watch it to be entertained, then cool. But make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you like it. And I'll be trying to post weekly, so stay tuned every Wednesday and I'll have a new video hopefully. But I hope you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching. Bye!